Hello there, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that might sound, well, a little backwards. We're going to talk about spending money right before you retire. You know, we spend our whole lives being told to save, 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 but what if I told you that spending strategically now could actually make your retirement happier and way less stressful? Let's get right into it.
You know, this whole idea really hit home for me when a client, someone who had done everything right, said something that just stopped me in my tracks. She told me, I wished I'd saved less and spent more before I retired. I mean, how often do you hear that from a diligent saver? It really makes you think, doesn't it? So that's the big question, right? Why on earth would someone who successfully saved for retirement have that kind of regret? Well, the answer is fascinating. It's partly about practical money matters, but it's also deeply, deeply psychological. It's about getting your brain ready for one of the biggest changes you'll ever go through. To really get it, we have to look at the core issue here, and it all boils down to the psychology of spending. See, for decades, you've been operating in one mode, saver mode, and then boom, retirement hits, and you're expected to just flip a switch overnight. And that, well, that's a lot harder than it sounds. Think about it. For 30, 40, maybe even 50 years, your main financial goal was to accumulate, to build that nest egg. Every financial muscle you have was trained to save. Then, the day you retire, you're suddenly supposed to shift into a spending mindset. It's incredibly tough to go from being a world-class saver to a comfortable spender. That switch doesn't just flip itself. And what makes it even harder is this thing called scarcity mode. The second that steady paycheck stops hitting your bank account, your brain can, and often does, hit the big red panic button. It's this natural, gut-level reaction to losing a steady income stream, even if you have more than enough saved up. And once that scarcity mode kicks in, your brain starts working against you. It starts playing out every possible worst-case scenario. What if the market crashes? What if I have a huge medical bill? What about inflation? It can send you into a spiral, making you feel like you're about to run out of money, even when you're perfectly fine. And that feeling makes it almost impossible to enjoy spending on the things you need and want. So how do you get ahead of this? How do you combat that scarcity mindset? Well, you do it by being strategic. By making 5 specific, smart purchases before you retire, you can take care of practical needs while also making that mental shift so much easier. These 5 steps set you up for success both financially and emotionally. Let's walk through them one by one. All right, first up, let's talk about you. Your health. Taking care of any major health or dental procedures before you leave your job is honestly one of the smartest things you can do. I'm talking about that stuff on your to-do list that you might have been putting off. You know, getting that crown or bridge done at the dentist, getting a new pair of glasses, or maybe finally scheduling that knee surgery you've been dreading. These things can be expensive, and they're almost always easier to deal with while you're still working.
And here's the really practical reason why. The health plan you have through your employer is usually way more comprehensive than what you'll have in retirement. This is especially true for things like dental and vision. Basic Medicare doesn't cover most of that, so you'd have to buy extra policies. Getting it done now under your work plan can save you a ton of money and a lot of paperwork later.
Okay, number 2 on our list is all about where you live. If you're even thinking about moving for retirement, maybe downsizing or moving closer to the kids, it is almost always better to buy that new home before you retire. The difference is just night and day. While you're working, you have that W-2 income, that steady paycheck. Lenders love that. It makes getting approved for a mortgage so much easier. But after you retire, your income is coming from savings and investments. And believe me, trying to prove that kind of income to a bank can be a real headache. It's not impossible, but it's a whole lot harder.
All right, so for our third point, let's stick with the home. If you're planning on staying put in your current house, investing in some major repairs now can prevent some massive headaches down the road.
We're talking about the big-ticket items here. Things like a new roof, a new furnace or air conditioning system, or maybe that kitchen remodel you've been dreaming about for years. Even things like new windows and better insulation can be a great investment, helping lower your utility bills once you're on a fixed income. After all, you're going to be spending more time at home, so you want it to be comfortable and worry-free. And there are 2 big reasons to do this now. First, obviously, you avoid a huge, unexpected bill popping up when you least expect it in retirement. But the second reason goes right back to that psychology we talked about. It is just so much easier on your mind to write that check while you still have a paycheck coming in. It feels like a planned expense, not a scary withdrawal from your nest egg. Okay, we've prepped our health and our home. Now let's shift gears and talk about preparing for the fun stuff, your life and leisure. And number 4 on the list is to buy a reliable car. Really, the goal here is simple. Peace of mind. Starting retirement with a dependable car that is completely paid off eliminates two huge sources of financial stress. First, you get rid of a monthly car payment. And second, you reduce the fear of a sudden $1,000 repair bill. It's just one less thing to have to worry about, freeing you up to actually enjoy yourself.
And that brings us to our fifth and final point. And honestly, this one might be the most fun of all. It's about prepaying for those bucket list trips and experiences you've been dreaming about. Now here is the brilliant psychological trick behind this. If you book and pay for that big cruise or that trip to Italy before you retire, it's a done deal. It's on the calendar. It's real. It becomes a commitment you've made yourself. This is how you bypass that scarcity mindset that can creep in and talk you out of it later. It ensures you actually go on the adventures you've worked your entire life to be able to take.
And this is so important. Don't wait. Don't put these things off, telling yourself you'll do them once you feel more secure in retirement. Because for so many people, that day just never quite comes. That little voice in your head, the one driven by scarcity, will always find something new to worry about. Go out and live your dreams while you have the health and energy to enjoy them to the absolute fullest.
So, let's just pull all of this together. The main takeaway here isn't about spending recklessly. Not at all. It's about spending smart now so that you can truly live well later.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Real retirement planning is about so much more than just hitting a number in your 401k. It's a whole process of getting your finances, your home, your health, and, most importantly, your mindset ready to fully embrace and enjoy this incredible new chapter of your life.
And hey, as a little bonus, here are a few other smart pre-retirement purchase ideas we've heard from other retirees. Things like investing in a high-quality mattress because good sleep is priceless, or buying the equipment for a hobby you want to pick up, or even prepaying for a financial planner to help you through the transition. It's all about investing in your future happiness.
If you found this explainer helpful, please do me a favor and like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Retirement Finance Explained. We're here to give you simple, clear guidance on retirement, savings, and your financial security. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today.